Hey guys, it's Jake here with eTrailer. Today we've got a 2020 Grand Design Reflection fifth wheel trailer, and we're going to be taking a look at, and I'm going to show you how to install the Dexter Easy Flex Equalizer Upgrade Kit. A traditional equalizer, just your standard metal triangle equalizer on your trailer, is designed to transfer the energy from the front axle to the back whenever you're hitting a bump. Or if you hit up one with the back axle, it'll transfer it back to the front. That's what it's designed to do, is equal out the amount of pressure being put on each axle. So if you hit a bump with the first axle, it'll bump up. It's going to push that back axle further down into the ground, and it's going to transfer the energy back onto the front axle. So whenever you hit a bump, it's designed to kind of equal it out. Well, when you have that standard steel one, there's a lot of shock involved in it, and adding one like this that has a shock absorbing feature in it is really going to help to make your ride a lot more comfortable. This equalizer is going to be designed to fit 8,000 pound axles. Now ours are 5,100 pound axles, but this is an upgrade from their last kit. They did have just a standard Dexter Easy Flex, and they wanted something a little bit stiffer than those. So we upgraded them to this, and it's going to be the same bolt pattern as their last one was. It's designed to fit, like I said, again, 8,000 pound axles. It pairs up great with them, and it's going to fit a axle spacing of 35 inches from the center of the axle to the center of the axle. The shock absorbing rubber on the inside is really going to help to provide that cushioning and the retraction, so it's going to work both ways. So if you have these two things, these two brackets here, if you're hitting a bump and it's wanting to squish, it's going to help to bring them back out. And then if you're hitting a bump and it's pulling them out, it's going to bring them back together. We are going to have an entire wet bolt kit that comes with this that's going to replace all the bolts in our suspension. You're also going to have two grease zerks on the top of this joint so that you can grease those up so that there's smooth operation. As far as the installation goes, this install is really not too bad. We ended up replacing the leaf springs too on this rig, so it took us a little bit longer. But I would recommend having a couple of floor jacks, one for each axle, and maybe a couple of jack stands for your frame of your trailer, just to make everything nice and safe when you're working on it. It's really just going to involve taking your wheels and tires off, and then removing all the hardware from one side. You'll slide wet bolts back into place where you took normal bolts out, and then here in the center for our equalizer, we'll take that equalizer, the old one out, whichever one you have, and then put the new one in its place. If you do not feel comfortable doing this yourself after watching the installation, feel free to use our dealer locator on our website to find the dealer closest to you that we've confirmed that can do this installation. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at it. To begin our installation, you're going to need to lift up on the bottom of each axle so that you can get your tires up in the air. Be sure when you're lifting these, you can lift either right underneath the U-bolts for your leaf springs or just inside. You don't want to go to the middle of the axle because you can bend it. But if you stay close to the edge, you shouldn't have any problems. Get those up in the air, take your wheels and tires off, and then you'll be exactly where we're at here. What I need to do is I need to take off the shackles here, and then remove this bolt, and then our equalizer will fall right out. With this kit, you are going to get new hardware for everything, and particularly for us, we're going to be replacing the leaf springs too, just because these are a little wore out, and the owner of this RV wants some new ones. So we'll go ahead and get started on it. Now we're going to use an 11/16 socket. Whatever your kit has, or whatever your camper has, you'll have to use that particular socket. So you take these off, just remove this stuff. You might need a hammer in order to knock these out, but if you have the jacks underneath under your axles, you can kind of raise and lower them to make these a little bit easier to slide out. And we'll take a 7/8 socket and take this nut off the top. Now we're going to take our new equalizer, take the bolt that does not have the wet bolt grease zerk on it, slide this in. I like to do the equalizer bolt from the back side, and then all the other bolts will do from the front. And then on the back side, you'll see these splines right below the head of the bolt. We're going to take a hammer and we need to beat these in so that they bite into this metal plate. You do not want to just rely on the tightening the nut to suck these in, because you could end up spinning it, and as soon as that spins, you're going to shave off the inside of that opening and you won't ever be able to put a bolt with splines in there again. If you were just swapping out your equalizer for this equalizer, you can just throw your new shackle kit on here. What we're going to do, like I said earlier, we're going to swap our leaf strings out and we'll come back and then we'll pick up where we left off. And we'll take our new shackles, going to get them in place. You want to make sure that the holes, they should be pointed one direction or the other. You want to make sure they're not down, because with the weight of the trailer on there, it'd be very difficult to pump grease through it. So we'll get this lined up. Push that all the way through. And on the back side, we'll put this other brace. Once you get the shackles on, we'll take the nuts that come in our kit and put it on the back side. You will have two nuts that will stand out in your kit. That is the nut that goes on this center bolt here to hold our equalizer up. Now we're going to run these down with an 11/16 socket, and we'll have to go back through and torque everything down. We're going to grab a torque wrench and torque down all of our hardware to the specifications in the instructions. And we're going to repeat that same process for the whole assembly on the other side of the vehicle. Well guys, once you get everything tightened and torqued down, you can throw your wheels and tires back on and put some grease into your grease zerks. But other than that, that's going to do it for a look at and installation of the Dexter Easy Flex suspension upgrade.